Indira Gandhi was born in November 1917 and was Prime Minister of India from January 1966 to March 77, and again from January 1980 until her assassination on October 31st, 1984. Indira Gandhi was one of India's most notable and controversial political leaders. During 1959 and 60, Gandhi ran for and was elected the President of the Indian National Congress. Her term of office in this role was uneventful, but things would not stay quiet for long. After the Indo-Pakistani War of 1965, Indira Gandhi ran for election as Prime Minister. She beat Desai by 355 votes to 169 to become the third Prime Minister of India and the first woman to hold the position. Special agricultural innovation programs and extra government support launched in the 1960s and furthered by Indira resulted in India's chronic food shortages being transformed into surplus production. The country became a food exporter and diversified its commercial crop production. Gandhi's economic policies, while socialist, brought major industrialization as well, and the people of India finally had hope. Indira Gandhi had become a heroine and an icon. But with family problems at home and fighting the demons of her youth, she suffered a defeat in the 1977 elections. Her faction in the Congress Party lost the parliamentary elections, and she lost both her seat and her position as Prime Minister. It was at this time that Gandhi was convicted of a minor infraction of the election laws during the 1971 campaign. The High Court ordered her to resign. Instead, she declared a state of emergency. Maintaining her innocence, she insisted that the conviction was part of an attempt to remove her from office. Although her conviction was soon overturned by the Indian Supreme Court, the emergency was continued. Gandhi placed many aspects of life in India under her own strict control, and thousands of dissenters were imprisoned. Many saw in these actions the influence of her younger son Sanjay Gandhi, a political neophyte upon whom she relied more and more for assistance. Hoping to demonstrate political support for her regime, which critics contended was undermining India's democratic system, Gandhi called a general election in March 1977. She lost her seat in Parliament, and the Congress Party was defeated. In the elections of January 1980, however, she made a spectacular comeback and was able to form a new majority government. When her son Sanjay died in a plane crash that June, she began grooming her older son, Rajiv Gandhi, as her successor. On October 31st, 1984, after she had moved vigorously to suppress Sikh insurgents, she was shot by Sikh members of her own security team. Two of Indira Gandhi's Sikh bodyguards assassinated her in the gardens of the Prime Minister's residence in New Delhi. As she was walking to be interviewed by the British actor Peter Ustinov, she passed a wicker gate guarded by Satwant and Beyant. When she bent down to greet them in traditional Indian style, they opened fire with their semi-automatic machine pistols. She died in her official car on the way to hospital and was cremated on November the 3rd. Indira Gandhi did much for India's people as she made daring, sweeping and even radical changes in the political, cultural and industrial aspects of life in India. It was such that has forged her into a modern history as one of the most famous of world leaders.